That's IQWealth.com. I'm Amanda Sutphin.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and it must be Friday. And indeed it is. It is Friday, February 8th. And if you're just tuning in, our show is called Health Futures for a reason. It's about how our older adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And how do we do this? We bring extraordinary guests to the show. And today's no different. I've got two guests here on the show, and we're going to devote the first half to guest number one, and her name is Sue Paramenter. She's with HomeCare, Arizona. She is a nurse practitioner there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bob. I'm glad to be here.
It's good to have you, Sue. And over to my left is Jamie Flesher. She is the regional director or regional vice president, or just, you're like the owner of Electronic Caregiver, Pro Health, and Addison Care.
Senior Regional Director.
Senior Regional Director. And for our listening audience, this is Jamie's second appearance here on the show, so we're going to talk about, in the second half, all these incredible things that are happening with the Electronic Caregiver. So, first half, I want to spend talking to Sue, and Sue is with HomeCare, Arizona, and it is February, so it is Heart Health Month. So I'm going to just turn it over to you. Heart Health Month, HomeCare, Arizona, what are you guys doing?
Well, at HomeCare, Arizona, we are a network of doctors, advanced care practitioners, hospitalists, and specialists that all work together for our Medicare population in Maricopa County. We would like to reach out to all of our members and all the older population so they know about heart health and what they can do to keep themselves healthier and away from heart disease.
Number one leading cause of death.
Yes.
Heart disease.
Exactly.
Number one leading cause of death in men, heart disease.
Yes. And
women, heart disease.
Exactly.
It's an equal opportunity offender.
It is.
And, you know, a lot of people don't really realize that. I mean, especially with women. I think there's this misnomer that people think breast cancer is the number one leading cause of death, and it's not. It's heart attacks.
It is. I think breast cancer is more publicized than heart disease.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, and the same number of people, I think people think about, you know, hearts, they think of men clutching their chests, but they don't think about women.
Right. Women's symptoms are different. We can get some squeezing pressure in the mid-sternal chest area, the mid-chest, but they get more jaw pain, neck pain. They will get discomfort around their chest, and some women have even described it to me as they feel like their bra is on too tight. Mm-hmm. So it's all the way around. Sometimes it's pain between their shoulder blades. They can also have nausea, vomiting, sweating. So those are more symptoms that are typically for women.
And while we're talking about women, I think most women, and I mean this in a very positive way, I mean, they do so much, you know, in terms of managing their households. A lot of them are working, raising their kids, that they don't sometimes stop to recognize the symptoms.
No, they don't.
And all those symptoms you described, Sue, I mean, and others that I've heard is fatigue is definitely one that you know is a leading indicator of a symptom. Yes. Or lightheadedness or dizziness. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned sweating, nausea or vomiting.
Sometimes they also brush it off as indigestion.
Right. So,
Yes.
so you're recommending if you're feeling any of these symptoms, you should be contacting your primary care physician.
Exactly. You should be contacting the primary care physician to get in to be evaluated so they can go over your heart risk factors and determine if your symptoms need further treatment.
And, other risk factors for women can differ from typical factors like high cholesterol or blood pressure, but then there's diabetes, there's depression, there's stress, smoking.
Yes, all of those.
Inactivity.
All of those are a lot of them are modifiable risk factors. We can quit smoking. We can have a healthy diet that's low in fat and cholesterol and also salt so our blood pressure stays low. We need to take care of our blood sugars and make sure that we're not eating a lot of high sugary foods and beverages.
February, so important. We think of Valentine's Day, which is a week from yesterday, the 14th, and we really need to be cognizant of our hearts and those things you just mentioned, Sue, exercising, eating right. I know that, healthy diets are so important, and we've talked a lot about it on this show. We've talked about dementia and Alzheimer's, and when we've had these experts on here, they all say heart health leads to brain health. So it's so important to take care of your heart.
Yes. Routine exercise keeps us all healthy. So we would like all of our seniors to stay as healthy as possible with diet and exercise. Our community centers at HomeCare provides a lot of educational opportunities along with an exercise program to try to get them all into a routine of staying very healthy.
And they each have exercise equipment there.
They do. And
it's pretty fascinating what they have there because I've been there. You have 3 locations here in the Valley, right?
Currently we have 3 locations, yes.
I'm trying to remember, right? I know there's one right up in North Phoenix by
Deer Valley.
Deer Valley?
Yep. Then we have one in Goodyear out on Estrella Boulevard or Pebble Creek. And then there's one down in Chandler by Sun Lakes.
And these facilities, they're open to the general public, but
exactly.
certainly HomeCare.
Anybody that's 55 years or older and that would like to attend any of our programs or use the exercise equipment is welcomed. We do have nurse practitioners in the facilities that service the HomeCare members. They will perform annual wellness visits where our members can discuss the heart risk factors along with their chronic health conditions with the nurse practitioner. And then all of our visits information is sent back to their primary care provider, and we also give the patient a personal prevention plan to help them stay healthy.
You also, beside that, you have programming there, too. You have exercise.
Yes, we have exercise.
So I know one, Dr. Paul Benheim. He's got the Brain Savers program, which is a mixture of physical exercise as well as brain health.
Right, yes.
Very cool stuff. And you guys do what, Tai Chi there? You do other things there? What else do you do? Well, I'm sure there's a list of this stuff that you do, and you probably can go right out to the website at HomeCare Arizona.
Yes, there's a calendar that lists by the day the different activities, and there are a ton of activities that go on in these centers.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's hard to believe, but you hear the music. We're down one segment. But, Sue, we're going to come back and talk more about heart health. And, Jamie, if you've got anything you want to add about heart health, you've got a lot of experience as a clinician, as a nurse. You've seen a lot of things that we've talked about. Exercise, diet, critical to protecting your heart. And certainly brain health as well. Well, you've been listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. I'm Bob Roth. I've got in the studio, I got Sue Paramenter from HomeCare Arizona, and I got Jamie Flesher from the Electronic Caregiver. We'll be right back.
I remember the days I used to worry about my investments.
The Dow tumbled 200 points today.
Oh no, better sell. I used to panic.
Investors should brace for a scary ride.
Brace myself? I had white-knuckled fear of working till I was 97, but not anymore. I found a financial advisor with a long-term plan that works. Feels good.
Fleming Financial Services, a fee-based advisor who does what's best for you, not for the commission. With over 21 years in business, Fleming Financial Services has seen and helped clients through all kinds of market conditions. Have a long-term plan and work with someone that can help you alleviate the stress. Fleming Financial Services, your worry-free advisor. 480-632-8770. That's 480-632-8770. FlemingFinancialServices.com. Fleming Financial Services Inc. is a registered investment advisor offering advisory services in the state of Arizona and in other jurisdictions where exempted. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training.
Dad, what are you doing?
I thought you said you wanted everyone's names in all the team ball caps.
Yeah, but not with permanent marker and my dad's terrible handwriting.
Johnson, what is in your shirt pocket?
My interpretation of our company logo with a red magic marker. I have a big meeting and I want to advertise our brand.
Time for professional-looking logos.
Showcase your brand the right way. Embroider Me of Scottsdale will put your logo on practically anything you can think of to promote your business. Hats, shirts, bags, pens, cups, gifts, unique and specialty items, conference and branded apparel, and so much more. Visit the Scottsdale showroom on 64th and Bell Road, and our branding experts will make your business stand out. Embroidery, screen printing, anything you want to put your logo on. Promote your brand the right way with Embroider Me of Scottsdale. Learn more now. Search Embroider Me Scottsdale or call 480-998-9199. That's 480-998-9199. Or search Embroider Me Scottsdale on your mobile phone right now.
At Farmers Insurance, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Get smarter about your insurance at farmers.com. That's farmers.com.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. We're on our second segment. If you're just tuning in, I got Sue Paramenter. She's a nurse practitioner with OptumCare Arizona in the studio. We're talking heart health. I've got Jamie Flesher, too. She's with the Electronic Caregiver, who also has other products called Pro Health, as well as Addison Care. And we're going to talk a lot to Jamie in the second half, but we're going to bounce right back to you, Sue. You know, it's hard to believe that we're into February already, 2019, and we're talking heart health. And heart health is so vital for older adults to live a healthier, happier life. And, you know, there's so many things that we've talked about in the first half. We focused a little bit on women and some of the signs. But, you know, I want our general listening audience and those loved ones of those people that are listening in to really understand why is it so important and what is the true value of visiting a doctor and getting a health screen so you know where things are at.
Well, as we age, that's one of the risk factors for heart disease. So we should all be seeing our primary care doctors on a routine basis. So
routine is how often?
Once or twice a year.
Once or twice.
Minimum.
All right. So if you're younger, maybe once a year. As you get older, twice a year?
At least twice a year. And then if you have other conditions that can compound your risks for heart disease, you're probably going to be seeing your primary care doctor every 3 or 4 months.
Okay. Fantastic.
And they will do screenings for heart disease. They'll be talking to you about your risk factors. They should go over what it is that you can modify, whether it is your diet or they can instruct you on a type of exercise program that you could begin, and they could monitor that for you.
How much or how important is genetics? I mean, if you have a parent or both parents with heart disease, I would imagine that if you lost a parent, you have one that's suffering from heart disease, you should be getting checked out.
You should.
Yeah.
Genetics is huge. That's one of the risk factors we can't change. I am a product of that. My father had bypass surgery in his late 40s and actually died at the age of 57 from heart disease.
Wow.
So it is in the forefront. It does tend to run in men greater than women, but still, I have a brother who has probably more risk factors than me because he was a smoker and has high cholesterol and is a little heavier. So those are risk factors that he can modify. He can get his cholesterol down, he can stop smoking, and he can start exercising.
Is he doing all those things you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
He is not.
I just thought maybe you were calling your brother out.
I wish I could.
Okay, so he's living a healthier life as a result.
Yes, we try. The sisters try to push him to a healthier life.
All right, so we'll leave his name anonymous right now.
Yeah.
But brother to Sue, keep
He's
living
out
a
of
healthier,
state. He won't
life.
hear.
There you go. Well, we'll send him a copy. But needless to say, genetics do play into it. And I too, Sue. Mm-hmm. I lost my mother at a young age to heart disease. I lost her at 66, and that today we shouldn't be losing people that young. That's way too young. And if we get screened, there's exercise, there's eating, as well as medications for us to live a longer life.
Yeah, and the diet and exercise are key. So
let's talk about diets. Let's talk about what type of diets lead to healthier hearts. I know I've heard about the Mediterranean diet.
Yep, that one is got a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. It has the lean meats, the fish, chicken, turkey, nuts are always also good for you. If you have the carbohydrates that are grains, the whole grains are also good.
I like the olive oil that's in there.
There you go. That's good for you.
And wine.
Got to minimize the wine.
Minimize the wine. Okay, maybe one glass a night.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. And, cholesterol levels. Cholesterol levels are what really are important, and they're kind of our markers. They're the indicators whether or not you have high cholesterol or low cholesterol. And, I always hear about LDL and HDLs. I always get them confused. Which one's the good and which one's the bad?
LDL is the bad cholesterol, and that's the one that we want to get as low as we can. And that happens with diet and exercise. The HDL is your good cholesterol, and that will be increased with exercise. There's also triglycerides is another fat in the cholesterol panel. That can be elevated in people who have diabetes, eat a lot of carbohydrates or sugars, or drink a lot of alcohol. And all the numbers have to be within a good range in order for them to be less at risk.
So I know the LDL because that's the bad one.
It is.
And they want us to be under 99. And I know my cardiologist, who's going to be a guest on the show next Friday, because we're going to continue through the month about heart health. And actually from OptumCare Arizona, we're going to have Dr. Schnitzer on at the end of the month. And we're going to close out about Heart Health Month. But I know, Dr. Nathan Laufer says that all of us are born at 50. You start with 50, and then you go up from there. But we got to keep it under 100.
Yes.
So that's the number. We got to keep it under 100. So in terms of women, we were talking about earlier, do you have any specific messages you want to leave to women about heart health?
They need to pay attention to their symptoms. They need to think more about themselves so we don't brush things off and then suffer the consequences after the event.
Well, OptumCare Arizona is doing a lot for heart health, and I've asked Angie to pop on here from OptumCare Arizona. You're doing a red hat thing going on. Can you share with us what you guys are doing?
Sure, Bob. Thanks for having me. So you were talking a little earlier about our community centers. It's a great place for folks 55 and older to come and take part in classes to exercise or educate themselves to stay healthy. But we also have volunteer opportunities, and one of the unique campaigns that we're running in February, because it's Heart Month, is the Little Hats and Big Hearts campaign.
Oh, I love the name.
It's such a great name, and this is with the American Heart Association, and really what this campaign is all about is there's volunteers all over the country, and they knit these precious little hats for newborn babies. All babies, when they're born, typically the hospital will give them a sweet little hat to go home with. Well, in the month of February, they all get these precious red hats. And the hats are really just a reminder to honor mothers and children and just to keep that heart-healthy lifestyle in mind.
Keep it forefront.
Yes, absolutely. So part of one of the volunteer activities at our community centers is our crocheting class has stopped all programs or all projects, and they've moved over to knitting these little red hats. And they've got a little healthy competition going on, and I think we're up to about 1,500 red hats so far this year.
Nice. We were talking about the exercise facilities at the community centers,
right.
And Ben Brock, who I've met before, is very instrumental in picking all that equipment. I think you shared with me he's a good knitter.
Yes, and
Ben, we're calling you out.
If you're listening, Ben, please forgive me, but I do believe listening to one of the folks in the class taught Ben how to knit, and he was working on his project over the weekend on the couch, and his wife may or may not have asked him to stop his knitting so she could get some help around the house from him. So we appreciate Ben's contributions to the initiative.
Well, Angie Nedow, thank you. Angie's a marketing manager over at OptumCare Arizona. I appreciate you chiming in.
Thanks, Bob.
And if people want to learn more about OptumCare Arizona, they can go up to the website at optumcare.com and click on Arizona as their state, and they can find everything up there, right?
Absolutely. Find information about who we are as a network, where our community centers are located, just about anything you'd like to know about OptumCare.
Fantastic. And Jamie, I'd love for us to conclude with some takeaways for our listening audience to really know about heart health. You've got a couple things that you would like to share with our listening audience. Please do.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you so much for having me back here today. So as a nurse, I have a lot of people that come up to me, and they're asking for advice all the time, and they're, one of the common questions is, what can I do for my heart? And so I have the ABCDE for heart health. So A is active lifestyle. It's so important that you stay active. Get out and walk, ride bikes, do whatever you enjoy doing. Go outdoors. B is for checking your blood pressures and blood sugars regularly. It's the window to your body organs. C is for caring for yourself. Make sure you're getting into your doctors for regular checkups and control your weight. D is for diet. Again, Sue mentioned the good, healthy diet, low fat, eat lots of vegetables, and high in fiber. And one thing that we don't often think about is de-stressing, because stressing can really cause a lot of health issues.
Meditation, yoga.
Yes.
Mindfulness.
And then lastly, E, exercise, educate yourself, and be emergency ready if you already have been diagnosed with some heart condition.
Well, those are some really good takeaways. Thank you so much, Jamie, for sharing that with us. As we wind down the show, Sue, do you have any final thoughts you want to share with our listening audience as we conclude the first half? And say so long to OptumCare Arizona for now, and Dr. Schnitzer will be on at the end of the month.
I just want to let everybody know to take care of themselves, to see their physicians regularly, and to learn about their personal risks for heart disease, to maintain regular exercise, good nutrition, a regular sleep schedule, and try to eliminate their unhealthy habits like smoking and eating foods in high cholesterol.
And February is a great month to remember that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, Sue, for being here in the studio. Angie as well.
Thank you, Bob.
You guys doing great work at OptumCare Arizona. And again, go out to optumcare.com, click on the state of Arizona. You can learn all about the great services that they provide here in our community. Can't thank you enough. And Jamie, thank you for contributing.
You're welcome.
We're going to say it so long right now, and it is halftime here at Health Futures. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to Jamie Flesher from Electronic Caregiver in the second half. Stick around. We'll be right back.
As we reach the bottom of the hour, we pause for a look at the world's news. Then we're back with Money Talk. We're Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker snapped back today at newly emboldened Democrats in Congress who are pushing for information on the special counsel's Russia probe as they try to put President Trump's administration under greater scrutiny. Whitaker says he has not interfered in any way with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. One person's been shot and a suspect is in custody after an incident this morning at Frederick Douglass High School in Baltimore. Police Colonel Byron Conaway.
All students are okay. Everybody's safe. The students were dismissed.
Target has modified its smartphone app after a Minneapolis television station reported that prices displayed on the app went up whenever users approached the retailer's stores. Sometimes prices went up by hundreds of dollars. Actor Albert Finney has died after a brief illness. The star of Tom Jones and Annie was 82. The Dow down 150. I'm Mike Moss.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Call 800-319-8464. That's 800-319-8464. Again, 800-319-8464.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the only $5 meal worthy of your appetite? Wendy's Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal. Our classic Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is now bigger, with double the fresh, never frozen beef and double the Applewood smoked bacon. There's nothing junior about it except the price. Wendy's Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal comes with nuggets, fries, and a drink for just $5. Get the $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal at Wendy's. Giant Meal, junior price.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Retirement. Are you near it or already in it? Well, this place, Money Radio, is a place to stay to make sure it all works out the way you want. We're all about money right here.
Financial market analysis from Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
Diversification is the key. You have to have diversification in these markets. And if you have all your eggs in one basket, when things go bad, you're going to get hurt.
It's financial food for thought on your drive home. Market Wrap with Mo Ansari.
Catch Market Wrap on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM Monday through Friday at 5 p.m.
Dad, what are you doing?
I thought you said you wanted everyone's names in all the team ball caps.
Yeah, but not with permanent marker and my dad's terrible handwriting.
Johnson, what is in your shirt pocket?
My interpretation of our company logo with a red magic marker. I have a big meeting and I want to advertise our brand.
Time for professional-looking logos.
Showcase your brand the right way. Embroider Me of Scottsdale will put your logo on practically anything you can think of to promote your business. Hats, shirts, bags, pens, cups, gifts, unique and specialty items, conference and branded apparel, and so much more. Visit the Scottsdale showroom on 64th and Bell Road, and our branding experts will make your business stand out. Embroidery, screen printing, anything you want to put your logo on. Promote your brand the right way with Embroider Me of Scottsdale. Learn more now. Search Embroider Me Scottsdale or call 480-998-9199. That's 480-998-9199. Or search Embroider Me Scottsdale on your mobile phone right now.
The Renaissance Festival is back!
Huzzah! Weekends now through March 31st.
Great shopping! A giant crafts market! New shows featuring seafarers, mermaids, and merriments! Non-stop feasting and more! The Renaissance Festival is back!
Weekends now through March 31st.
Discount tickets available at Fry's and Fry's Marketplace or rimfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Fry's, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
I'm Jim Chesko with Your Money Now. Are you ready for some more football? A new pro league, the Alliance of American Football, plays its first games tomorrow with opening week action airing on CBS. The new league, founded by Pro Football Hall of Famer Bill Polian and TV producer Charlie Ebersol, has teams in 8 markets and will run from this weekend through April. The AAF will be something of a complement to the NFL rather than a rival. Stocks are lower, led by blue chips. The Dow Industrial's down 144 points. The Nasdaq's down just 4 points. The S&P lower by 7. Walgreens touts its brand as trusted since 1901, but government regulators are questioning the retailer's commitment to keeping cigarettes out of the hands of children. The FDA says the drugstore chain is the top violator among pharmacies when it comes to illegally selling cigarettes to minors. More than a fifth of Walgreens stores inspected were found to be selling tobacco products to people under 18. Oil futures are little changed near the close. Crude oil up 2 cents. That's your money now.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. I'm your host, Bob Roth, and if you're just tuning in, we're on segment number 3. We're in the second half. Our first half was dedicated to Heart Health Month. And I had HomeCare Arizona here in the studio. I had Sue Paramenter. She's a nurse practitioner with them. And I had Angie Nedow here as well. She's a marketing manager. We were talking about signs and symptoms and how to really protect your heart and live a healthier, happier life. Our month of February is going to be really dedicated to Heart Health Month. Next Friday, make sure you tune in. You're going to hear from my personal cardiologist, Dr. Nathan Laufer, and we're going to continue on about heart health next Friday. And at the end of the month, we're going to conclude with Dr. Carrie Schnitzer, who is the Chief Medical Officer for HomeCare Arizona, and we're going to talk again about heart health. So we can't make that more apparent to our listening audience, the number one leading cause of death, and there are things that we can do to protect our hearts. So if you did hear our first segment, you definitely heard Jamie Flesher. She was in the studio. She is with the Electronic Caregiver. She is the Senior Vice President. Did I get that right?
Senior Regional Director.
Senior Regional Director. You're the president as far as I'm going to call Tony Dorman and tell him that you should be the Chief Operating Officer because you make it all work. But the Electronic Caregiver is an interesting company, and they are innovative. They are looking into the future. They've got some incredible new products that they've launched, one called Pro Health and the other one called Addison Care. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Jamie. Tell us a little bit about Electronic Caregiver, and then we may get into it in the third segment. It might be the fourth. I want to hear about the Consumer Electronics Show because that's where Addison Care got debuted. So welcome back.
Well, thank you so much, Bob, for having me back. So the last time I was here, we had the Premier system, which is the personal emergency response system that we had available on market, and it still is available. But we just rolled out our Pro Health system, which is a home health system that helps people with chronic conditions to be able to monitor their vital signs at home. So it's a system that it's a wireless medical device that measures your blood pressure, blood sugar, blood oxygen level, body temperature, and body weight. And it's all devices that are Bluetooth enabled, and they're able to transmit that real-time data to a care team, whether it be a family member or a nurse or a care provider, so that they can closely monitor your condition, whether you're having a condition like diabetes or congestive heart failure, COPD, hypertension. The more closely you can be monitored, the better they can manage your condition, and you'll have better health and improved outcomes. So
you started with the electronic caregiver, and I don't mean to go backwards, but I'm going to go backwards. You talked about Premier, the Premier Health, and basically it's more of an emergency alert system. So it's a thing that you wear around your wrist, or a pendant that you wear around your neck, right?
Yes, it comes with a wrist pendant that you can wear around your wrist, and it's water resistant, so you can certainly wear it in the shower. And it's interchangeable. You could wear it on your wrist, or you could wear it around your neck. We do have a fall detection pendant that you can wear around your neck if you're a fall risk. It can detect a fall, even if you're knocked out and you can't push the button.
And this isn't anything new. This is something that many companies have had for many, many years. And I really think the thing that I love about the Premier system, and tell me, Jamie, if I've got it wrong, is that it isn't really confined to your four walls. So it has a fob that is connected to, that you can take with you, that gives you the ability to push that information out should you have a fall or an event happen outside those four walls, correct?
Yes, absolutely. What I love about it is it works in the home as well as outside the home, and even across the United States, as long as you're in an area that's covered by AT&T, because it's got a GPS in the handheld device that can locate where you are. So if you're traveling across the United States and you're on the road and you have an emergency episode, you can push the button and it can locate you where you are and be able to send help.
And again, I'm just thinking outside the box. And my show and the world that both of us live in is dedicated to older adults. But couldn't this be something a child could use?
Absolutely. We have our youngest customer is a 4-year-old. Actually, he's probably 5 years old now. But yeah, children, college students, workers. My husband fell off a ladder and he was alone, broke his shoulder and his left foot, and he had to crawl to the next room to get to his phone to call for help. So guess what, Bob? He has one on his wrist now.
Nice. So, I mean, if he had an event happen, or any of these individuals have this happen, you just have to push the button.
Yes.
And like inside the four walls, and for us that are in the older adult business, we know that this technology's been there, but, you could be at the pharmacy, you could be in the parking lot, you could be down on the driveway by your mailbox and fall. All you have to do is push this button, and somebody's going to respond on that. Is it a fob? Is that what you call that you have, the device that you have with you?
Call it a handheld device.
Handheld device. There you go. Well, I appreciate you allowing me to go backwards with that. So electronic caregivers really, that's the foundation of the company. It started there, and now we pivoted over to Pro Health. And Pro Health is basically it's a device that connects to all kinds of devices that can track blood pressure, can track weight, can track blood sugar, all kinds of peripherals that can get connected to it. And it all communicates with is it a box that sits in the home?
Yeah, it's a console that sits on your counter, and it's connected to all these Bluetooth devices, and it will remind you it's time to take your blood sugar. It's time to take your blood pressure. And then when you put on the device and you push a button, it measures your blood pressure or your blood sugars, and it automatically uploads the data into the clouds and sent to your doctor or nurse or care manager or family member.
So I'm looking at your website right now. So for our listening audience, electroniccaregiver.com. It's spelled exactly as it sounds. And it's got at the very top, it's got Premier, Pro Health, Addison Care, articles, and about. So you can learn more by going there and seeing what we're talking about, correct?
Yes, and there's one other thing that we haven't mentioned is the Caregiver app that comes with both Premier and Pro Health. And that was what sold me on the device when I was looking for something for my mom, is this device comes with a Caregiver app that you can download on your phone, and on the app you can locate your loved one anytime. You can track where they have been the last 3 days, 7 days, or longer, and you can also send them a message, whether it be a medication reminder or a doctor's appointment reminder or just reminding them to drink water. You can send that message right away, or you can schedule it for every day at a certain time, 8 o'clock in the morning for morning meds, noon meds, evening meds, or you can just send a loving message to your loved one, and they receive it right on their handheld device, and it makes their day.
So, in looking at it, and again, I point to the website because the website has all of this information, even has pricing. So, we're looking at, on the Premier, we're looking from $39.95 to $59.95 a month.
Yes.
No money down.
No money down.
No money down. And are you locked into a contract for years? Or?
There is an activation fee of $25, but the equipment, you never have to pay for the equipment. So if it breaks, you lose it, malfunctions, you just call our headquarter main office and they'll send you a new one.
That is awesome. And the headquarter home office is 800 Alarm 55, right?
Yes.
And again, it's electroniccaregiver.com. We're talking about Premier. We've really talked a little bit about Pro Health, but Pro Health, too, has this button up here so you can actually see what Jamie's been talking about. It walks you through the different Bluetooth features. The box that I was talking about is called the Health Console, and that is the thing that communicates up to the cloud. And then there's one other piece, because I'm saving Addison Care for the second or fourth segment. And we have about 30 seconds here. There's something called Pocket MD.
Yes.
So real quickly, tell us about Pocket MD.
So that's telemedicine. So that feature comes with both our Premier system as well as our Pro Health to be able to have access to a doctor 24/7. With our Premier system, it's an extra $10 a month, give you unlimited access to a physician.
And you get access to the physician through the device.
Yes.
Fantastic. This is amazing. So we're going out with a little who. Who are you? It's hard to believe we're down 3 segments, Jamie. I saved the best for last because I want to hear about the Consumer Electronics Show. I want to hear about Addison Care. And really, before we start the 4th segment, I want people to really understand who Jamie Flesher is and why you gave up HomeCare, running a practice, to lead this initiative that you've got going with Electronic Caregiver. You've been listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. I'm your host, Bob Roth. I got Jamie Flesher here in the studio. Stick around. 4th segment will be right up. We'll be right back.
Are you sick and tired of hearing, don't buy an annuity until you've spoken to the so-called experts? If so, call 800-957-5604, extension 200, to learn the concept of a principal-protected, low-cost, new generation annuity and the various options. Listen to Secured Financial Solutions every Monday and Thursday at 1 p.m. on this station to prevent a derailed retirement and from purchasing the wrong annuity, especially the high-risk, high-fee variable annuity and complex proprietary index annuities. Secured Financial Solutions will help you understand the difference between true stated guarantees and non-guaranteed returns. Call 800-957-5604, extension 200, and visit dreamretire.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Virtue Capital Management, LLC, VCM, and Registered Investment Advisor. VCM and Secured Financial Solutions, LLC, are independent of each other. Annuities are insurance products, backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insuring insurance company. Information provided is not intended as tax or legal advice and should not be relied on as such. You are encouraged to seek tax or legal advice from an independent professional.
Do you take this wood chipper to be your lawfully wedded husband?
What?
Do you promise to love, honor, and keep him though he emits nightly noise akin to the mating call of a blue whale? For shredder or worse, or richer or snore, in sleeplessness and unhealth, forsaking a decent night's sleep for as long as you manage to live.
Oh, no.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition, one of several oral health issues that can put you at risk. Luckily, Dr. Jeffrey Clark at Scottsdale Dental Excellence uses today's advanced techniques that make a real difference in your health and your appearance. We offer a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, bridges, including the successful treatment of sleep apnea. Make your dental health a priority. Get a complimentary exam today by calling Dr. Jeffrey Clark at 480-585-1853 or go to ScottsdaleDentalExcellence.com. Located at Bell Road in the 101. Call 480-585-1853 or go to ScottsdaleDentalExcellence.com.
Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. And, Wes, this is supposed to be Cowbell fourth segment. Oh, there it is. Okay, I wanted to make sure we got it. Thank you. Appreciate it. It is. We're all working to the weekend, and a little bit of Loverboy taking us out in the fourth segment. And if you're just tuning in, I got Jamie Flesher here in the studio. She's with the Electronic Caregiver. We talked a little bit out in the third segment. We talked about the Premier product. We talked about Pro Health. And we're going to talk about Addison Care. But before we get into Addison Care, I've known Jamie for probably every bit of 12, 13 years. She was a home care provider, just like Cypress Home Care Solutions. She exited the business to do this. I would love for you to just take about 30 seconds. It would take you maybe longer than that, but abbreviated. Tell us a little bit about your background, because you are an RN, you are a care manager, and you have always looked to be on the leading edge. And I think you're doing it now, more so than ever before.
Well, thank you, Bob. So I have been in the healthcare field for 35 years. And
you look like you're 35 years old, so there you go.
Thank you. You are too kind. But I actually got started as a caregiver at the age of 18. And so I've been in home care for a long time. And the last 12 years owning a legacy home care was what a privilege it is to care for people in the home. But over the last 2 years, to be honest, we have struggled with not getting enough caregivers to meet the demand. And I think that's a problem that the whole nation is facing, is there's less caregivers getting into caregiving, and the demand is going to increase. It
is. I talk about it on the show all the time.
With our aging population growing every day. We have to rely on other solutions to home care that includes technology and innovation that will help us in that area. And when I found Electronic Caregiver less than a year ago, because I was looking for something for my mom, I thought, this is it. This is definitely the company to connect with, because we can offer solutions not only nationwide but worldwide.
I love it. And you know my connection to Electronic Caregivers, the exact same reason, because I know that live caregiving can't do it alone, not in the future. We need to embrace innovation and technology. And I love that you've embraced these guys. I love the vision that Tony Dorman has. I love the energy he has. And I love the outside-of-the-box thinking, because we've got to be able to have people age successfully in place. We know that over 90% of them want to stay at home.
Right.
And why not keep them at home? But we also know those numbers that you shared. We are growing so rapidly in terms of an aging society. The oldest of the baby boomers are now 73. In 10 years, they're going to be 83, and their needs are going to grow. We also know that 1/3 of our population presently across the country is living home alone. And it's predicted in the next 20 years that's going to be over 50% because these baby boomers either decided not to take a partner because they were so focused on work, or so many of these baby boomers, the divorce rate is so high that they had a partner and they got divorced and they never remarried. So we've got to figure out how to solve this conundrum, and I think Tony Dorman, the electronic caregiver, and Jamie Flesher, I think you guys have it. So I know we only have a few minutes here in our last segment. Addison Care, virtual caregiving. You guys had your debut that first week in January. You were there at the Consumer Electronics Show. Take us through what the vision is, where is it going, and how are we going to see this revolutionize the way care is being delivered?
It was an amazing week, Bob. I mean, CES is, and that was my first time at CES. It's where people from all over the world come to learn about technology, to show what technology that they've developed. So we debuted Addison Care, and we had hundreds of people come to our booth to find out, okay, what is Addison Care? And so I wanted to briefly tell you what Addison Care is. She is a combination of speech animation technology, artificial intelligence, visual sensing, augmented reality, and so much more. But she's not a robot. She appears on a screen on a tablet, and she has a face with dilating pupils and a compassionate smile. She has a body with human gestures, and she looks like a nurse. So it's like having a nurse in your home, and she has a dynamic personality. She'll talk to you, and she'll remind you to take your meds, your blood pressures, your vital signs. She'll help you go through your exercise, help educate you on diet and nutrition. And I mean, she is designed to watch over you, to be that little angel,
right,
in your home. And so what we did at the at CES was I think we were the only booth that had an RV, a 40-foot RV, and so we set Addison up inside the RV as well as outside, different booths, just to demonstrate what she can do. So we had different care plans. If somebody is needing diabetes management, she demonstrates how she helps you with that.
Wow.
Congestive heart failure, all the different common chronic disease management. And everybody loved it. People from all over the world says, we need Addison Care in our country.
So it was their debut just about a month ago in Las Vegas, and now Addison Care is out there. And if you want to learn more, I talked about the electronic caregiver website, but you can go to addison.care.com and you can learn more about Addison Care. Jamie, I need to have you back. I mean, it's hard to believe that we're down our fourth segment, but I love what electronic caregiver is doing. Well, you've been listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. Jamie Flesher is here in the studio with electronic caregiver. Thank you for being here. Tune in next week. I got Dr. Nathan Laufer here in the studio. We're going to talk about heart health. Have a great weekend.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress Home Care Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit CypressHomeCare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510
and 105.3 FM.
Financial words of wisdom with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
There should be a little sign like this on the side of cigarette packets. Picking tops and bottoms can be hazardous to your wealth. Don't try to do it.
It's helpful financial food for thought on your drive home with a host who tells it like it is. Market Wrap with Mo Ansari.
Catch Market Wrap on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM Monday through Friday at 5 p.m.
95.3 FM.
KFNN Mesa, Phoenix, and K287BX Mesa. You're listening to the Valley's only source for full-time financial news and money talk on the radio, Money Radio. Taking a look at the numbers. Dow down 161 points at 25,008. S&P down 6 at 26.99, and NASDAQ down 3 at 72.84. Up next, Onyx Wellness.
Talk about money. This is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news. And we've